Home teams are 5-0 on this Monday night, but the road team has not trailed in this one. Memphis on top of Phoenix 59-48 behind a 23-point first half from Mike Conley. It's the American Express halftime report. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, and Charles Barkley. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. 59-48 is the count, and when you talk about the American Express teammates, you got a guy who was just named an All-Star again in Marc Gasol for the Memphis Grizzlies, and a guy who is still waiting for that first All-Star call in Mike Conley. 12 points on the night for Gasol, 4 out of 8, and Conley with his highest scoring half of the season. In fact, in a career, never had 23 points, but he has it tonight. For a long time, it was always, when you talked about Memphis, it was always the bump and grind and no three-pointers. They've really upped the three-point output this year. Still, Gasol, Ximo, formidable.
Yeah, Gasol, 9 years in, Ximo, 16 years in. They kind of play the old school basketball. It is the bump and grind. But Gasol, is definitely one of the top two centers in the league. Has this ability to, shoot from the outside. Been shooting very, very well this year. It's just a great play. Loves to get people open. Loves to do the little things right there. Bump, get them open. Up, that's my shot. I'll take the shot. And, All-Star for him is well deserving. Right here, get it. Make the pass right here. Give it to Ximo. I asked Chuck how many years Ximo got left. I don't know, but Chuck, well, they didn't show, but he was sprinting up and down the court. I'm going to say about 3 or 4 more years, Chuck, for Ximo. They're playing well right now. He's 35 years old.
Well, I think the thing about Ximo, he is a perfect example. We get so enamored with talent, guys who can really run and really jump. This guy had a terrific career just knowing how to play basketball, how to use his body. Marc Gasol, to me, is just a flat-out stud. Mike Conley, I've said, he's been the most underrated player in the NBA the last 10 years. The problem they got is they're not as good as the teams on top. They would not be favored against the Warriors or the Spurs, but I think they got a chance against every other team. But I don't think they could beat the Warriors or the Spurs in the West. That's their biggest problem.
Interesting number on Marc Gasol. First 8 seasons, took 66 threes. Those are attempts. He's made 72 this season for Memphis.
Before I go to the board, what year is Mike Conley? Underdog knows that?
It's got to be
8.
Mike Conley? No, I think he's in double digits.
I don't know. He's not 30 yet. Okay, he's
okay. You said I just wanted to make sure that if he was the most underrated player the last 10 years, that he was actually in the league for 10 years.
Yeah, well, even if I was wrong by a little bit, what if I just slapped
just round it up or round it down?
Do it.
So anyway, I'm going to the board.
Hey, Jet, did you see last week? I
saw you beat him to the board.
Yeah, thank you.
I did see that.
We called it around my house, Kenny?
What's that?
Slow against slower.
Slow against slower, but slow won. I'd rather be slow than slower. But, any highlight today has to start with our 40-year-old brethren, North Carolina brethren. And that's Vince Carter, because you said about playing the game, guys that lose their athleticism can still do things and understand the movement and the style of play. So when you have the ball, when Vince Carter gets it here, instead of the shot fake, the drive to the lane, and stop it right here, because this is the most underrated thing in basketball to me. The ability to draw a two, most guys think that's it. That is a talent, to draw two people. When you draw two, you find one. And Vince Carter, at 40 years old, still understands how to find one and jumps it over to a 35. But Mike Conley frees it here. This is a guy now who says, in these ISO opportunities, I will, with my $153 million, take these type of shots. And I think before this, he wasn't really taking these type of shots. Chuck, I don't think he had the confidence to just keep the ball this long in his hand and just play one-on-one basketball and take those shots. Last year, he was more of a pitch guy, get rid of it. Again, once the pick and roll comes, and now he comes off the hip, freeze it. This is Mike Conley now, pretty much would penetrate and pitch and get out the way. But this year, to me, he's much more aggressive, getting into the lane, and probably one of the best finishers. He finishes that time with his left, but one of the best finishers with his right hand. in basketball. So to me, a lot more offensively aggressive for Mike Conley, which is good to see.
Well, let me just say this.
And
if somebody gave me $150 million, my coverage would be through the roof.
through the roof, too. No question.
Memphis shooting 7 out of 12 from deep in the first half. They averaged 6 a game last year. They're going to surpass their total for threes made before the All-Star break this season. And they're up 59-48.
Welcome to the American Express Halftime Report. American Express, the official credit card of the NBA.